Hello, everybody. Happy November 26th. Happy early Thanksgiving. We've got a lot of people logging on to this call here. Let's start off with a little bit of a buffer, and we'll get things rolling here real quick. But for your viewing entertainment here, guys, I know that a lot of you guys have seen some of this a little bit before. We'll do it one more time here for everybody here. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and go ahead and hit play. And
millions of Americans could see their premiums skyrocket. To help us understand the issue, we turn to Cynthia Cox, a vice president at KFF, which has analyzed the ripple effects. So, Cynthia, as you take us through this, let's start with the origin story here. Care plans beyond are getting more expensive here. What do you make of that?
Of us who get health insurance through our work are going to see our premiums go up too. Now, that is just because healthcare costs are going up a lot next year. So whether you get your insurance through the Obamacare market or through your employer, you might be seeing that your costs are going up a lot. That's actually in large part because of hospital costs going up, and also because of these popular new weight loss drugs that just cost a lot of money. A lot of people are using them, and that's driving up premiums.
People in the U.S. who get their health insurance through their employers could be hit with a big price hike next year. Mercer's national survey of employer-sponsored health plans says that businesses across the country are preparing for the steepest increase in health benefit costs in 15 years, and an additional 6 to 7% in premiums. Consulting firm PwC says that medical costs for employers are also expected to grow. Cancer care and pricey prescription drugs are the top drivers of employer cost increases over the last 4 years. Now, that's not expected to change. Joining us now is Mark Pauly, a professor emeritus of healthcare management at the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate getting your expertise as one of the nation's top health economists. Workers, as I mentioned, looking at possibly the biggest jump in health insurance costs in 15 years. I mean, what is really driving this steep increase that we're seeing?
Hi, my name is Mike Culver. I work for EHP, the Employer's Choice, and I'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch this short introductory video. If you're a business owner, a CEO, a CFO, or an executive who cares as much about a healthy workforce as you do a healthy bottom line, our program might be just right up your alley. Our program, we work with clients big and small that helps them recruit and retain high quality employees by offering a comprehensive suite of additional benefits on top of what you're already providing your workforce. Now, the nice thing about these benefits is that they come at no net cost to your employees and no net cost to you as a business owner. The reason why this program of ours is even in existence is because healthcare is currently in its current state is broken. In 2025, Americans are going to spend over $5.3 trillion on healthcare. 48% of that is going to be paid for by federal, state, and local governments. That's a $2.5 trillion burden on taxpayers. And the government is looking for ways to redirect some of those costly expenditures. That's why they expanded the scope and reach of a little-known tax advantage program called a SIMRP. A SIMRP stands for Self-Insured Medical Expense Reimbursement Program. And the goal with the SIMRP is to whittle away at our year-over-year increasing costs in medical expenditures. Now, the SIMRP program that we provide is Section 213D pre-tax deduction for your employees. It allows them to add these additional benefits and earn a tax deduction that covers the cost of them. All of these benefits are added on top of what you're currently providing for your employees. This is in addition to, not in lieu of. You don't have to change anything you're currently providing. These are additional benefits. And the goal of these benefits are to redirect some of the lower level care from brick and mortar engagements with your current health insurance and with the current medical system to an online digital platform that's more efficient and costs less. That can oftentimes lead to a slowing of your claims on your insurance as a business owner, and it reduces the rising costs of your insurance premiums that you provide for your employees. If you have a level or a self-funded insurance plan for your team, our clients are seeing upwards of 20% reduction in medical expenditures by implementing this tax advantage program. So on top of the benefits being provided to your employees, they get additional benefits. You save money at no net out-of-pocket cost to your employees, and no net out-of-pocket cost to you as a business. The best part about this is that because this program is a Section 213D pre-tax deduction, your employees' tax contributions to Uncle Sam are going to go down. That leads to a lower FICA tax match for you as an employer. Our clients see a $640 per employee per year tax reduction in FICA tax contributions. Now, if this sounds too good to be true, it's not. It's just new to you. This program is really gaining a lot of momentum. There's a lot of chatter online about the SIMRPs, and I encourage you to look it up. If this is not a fixed indemnity program, there is no double dipping with the IRS. This is a purposely crafted, purposely created, thoroughly researched, and compliant platform and program. We utilize all of the IRS tax codes the way they're meant to be utilized. So that is why small, medium, and large businesses with 25 or more full-time W-2 employees use us and seek us out. We are the fastest growing and largest SIMR provider in the country. We also work with churches, nonprofits, school districts, cities, and even states with over 50,000 employees as part of our clientele. So what I'd encourage you to do, if saving money and adding benefits to your employees sounds like something that would interest you, I would encourage you to get on ChatGPT, get on Grok or Google and ask what a SIMRP could do for your business, and then reach out to the person who shared this video with you so that you can schedule an introductory discovery call with us. We can thoroughly explain this program and this platform to you. Take the time to learn about what it can do for you and your business and your bottom line. And then we'll see if you qualify and how easy it is to implement on top of what you're already doing. This program expands benefits for your employees and saves you money by reducing taxes. I hope you take the time to learn a little bit more about this. Reach out to the person who shared this video with you. I look forward to chatting with you and seeing what EHP can do for your business. Thank you. Okay. Happy Wednesday before Thanksgiving, guys. Thought we'd share that a little bit and just give you a little bit of an intro and a buffer as people keep coming online here. What a fantastic group we've got. Well over 100 people on this call. Guys, there's a lot of things happening with this company, and we are really excited to build the momentum and launch into 2026. Already unbelievable. It's coming up. It's going to be here before we even know it. So my name is Mike Culver. For those of you that don't know me, I think a lot of you on the call have met me before or seen me before. I've been hosting several of these Zoom calls, and my goal here, I'm part of the discovery call team with EHP. My job is kind of fun. I get to be the first introduction to corporate, and I get to meet with so many of you guys on Zoom calls, and I get to meet with your clients and your prospects and business owners and operators of all walks and all different types. And it's absolutely just fantastic to work with you guys. My goal here today is to just do a little bit of a deeper dive. We have people on these calls. Some of you are absolutely dedicated to these calls and never miss one. I see some very familiar names on the list here. And then others of you are brand new, and I want to welcome you to the team and to the EHP family here. So what we do on these calls is typically a little bit of a deeper dive, but it's not too deep. For those of you that are looking for the real deep dives, we may have a special guest show up here this afternoon in a little bit that might be able to go into a little bit more insight above my pay grade with the company. We're hoping that happens. But for those of you who are new, I always talk about the basic building blocks of success with EHP. And the goal here is to just kind of answer some of those basic questions and get some of those basic skills and understanding about the program so that you can properly present this to your prospects and give them the best odds of success of going through the process of discovery call to uploading a census, an employee census, and then having our proposal team and our CPAs crunch the numbers and put together a formal proposal for your prospect, booking another call and sharing with them the findings of that proposal report, and then moving into onboarding. With our onboarding team, we integrate with their payroll, and then the next step is our onboarding team steps up and explains this program to all the employees and we onboard them. Guys, when we do this properly, we get a very, very high participation rate from employees. And honestly, from a referral partner standpoint, our job is to get good at booking discovery calls, piquing interest, building curiosity, promoting for a discovery call, booking that discovery call, and then following up with that client until they get an employee payroll census uploaded, and then getting on a proposal call. Once we get those steps done, we can pass the baton off to the experts at EHP with onboarding and presenting and on the proposal call. And we can kind of sit back in shotgun position here and let somebody else take over the wheel and guide our prospects through the finish line. That is the goal, guys, is we want to get really laser beam focused and good at the stuff that we're supposed to be good at, and let EHP get laser beam focused and good at the stuff they handle. With that being said, we typically don't use the chat, guys, on these calls. Please enter questions in the Q&A, and I'm going to go through and just kind of talk a little bit about answering some of your questions. This is really geared towards the newer folks who are still trying to get their head wrapped around everything. When we start talking about FICA tax and savings and all of that stuff, for some of you that are relatively new with this opportunity, we'll hopefully be able to give you a thorough understanding of that as well. I'm being told that we have a lot of great things coming down the pike here over the next month and early part of Q1 of next year. So I want to congratulate you guys. My schedule, my call calendar is booked, usually at least a minimum of a week out. And you guys are crushing it, absolutely crushing it. The number of quality employers that I'm meeting on a daily basis continues to improve. The number of no-shows from prospects continues to decline. We're getting fewer and fewer cancellations. And what that tells me is that you guys are pre-qualifying your prospect much better. You're confirming and edifying the discovery call and making sure that they will participate and be there. And that is all part of your job as a professional with this program. So I want to congratulate you guys. There's room for improvement always. We all can improve. We never stop. But the growth that I'm seeing and the number of discovery calls and quality prospects coming through continue to just impress me thoroughly. And it makes my job a lot easier as well on the discovery call team. So with that being said, let's just dive right in. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, Guy. Good to see you. We'll go through this Q&A, guys, and we'll try to answer as many of these basic questions as we can. And hopefully we'll have a surprise guest pop on here shortly. With the new minimum of 5 employees, does it include the owner of the company if he is W-2 as well? Yes. And Chuck, just so you know, I don't have the ability here to interact. I don't, for some reason, this is a webinar format on Zoom, and I am not the main host. I don't know how to add you guys yet. It's something that's on the list of things to do, I think. We're going to try to make this more interactive here down the road. But please go ahead, Chuck, and put your questions in the Q&A, and we'll zip through these. I'll try not to monologue too much. Deb, that's a great question. Guys, EHP has officially reduced the minimum number of employees to onboard a company with us now. For a long time, it's been a minimum of 25 or more full-time W-2 employees. Now, I still encourage you guys to shoot for that as a baseline, but we all know there are several small businesses that have 10, 15 employees full-time that could benefit from this program. When we start talking with these smaller companies, the tax savings for the employer isn't quite as substantial, but the benefits are still extremely meaningful for the employees. And so when we start shifting into these smaller employee headcounts, the policy is that we will onboard a company if a minimum of 5 employees opt into it and are qualified. So you're going to want to start with a little bit of a buffer. I would still recommend you start with 10 employees full time, something like that, so that we can pre-qualify and qualify them, because a lot of small businesses have part-timers and things like that. But we're going to be able to focus a little bit more. It's less about the tax savings for the employer, even though every dollar matters. It's going to be more about the benefit and the value add for the employees. And that's the theme that I've been seeing with I've done a few of these smaller discovery calls. The other thing that we do is don't be shy about saying, guys, normally our company requires you to have 25 or more full-time W-2 employees. They just lowered the qualification standards. You may qualify. It starts them off on the right foot, and you guys frame it a little bit more, because what do people want? People want what they can't have. So when we kind of make it a little bit more challenging and a little bit more difficult for the prospect, I don't know if you're going to be if EHP is going to take you on or not, or if you guys will qualify or not. But they did just announce that we are going to run a beta program, or we are going to try onboarding some lowering the minimum full-time employee requirements, and you guys may fit that bill. So let's get on a call and see what happens there. And then focus a lot on, I would personally focus a lot on the recruitment, retention, and value add to the employees, because that's substantial. Hopefully that helps. And yes, Deb, if the owner is W-2'd, it looks like Slava is on here typing. If the owner is W-2'd, I believe that the answer is yes, the owner can participate as well. And he may be able to correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that is the case. Specifically, what does the insurance policy the employers against? David, it looks like Slava is typing an answer to that question as well. I'll let him answer that. I think he may understand the question a little bit framed better. Hey, Mike, who can we reach out to get marketing collateral with our company information, instead of EHP? I don't know what that question really means. Every one of us, guys, we have a back portal. You have a username and a login in the back portal, and in there is marketing collateral. Now you're going to want, if you're going to use EHP's logo and likeness, you're going to need to get permission. Talk to your upline a little bit about that as well. EHP will continue to improve upon and add additional marketing resources down the road, guys, as it's needed. And as we continue to improve and roll out additional offerings and so forth. But I instead of EHP, I don't know what that part means there. I apologize. Hi, Karen. I have a client who works for the federal government who is getting W-2. Can we talk with them? You want to talk to the federal government, you can try. But guys, again, if you don't have an arm in arm escort into some of these big entities like a state or a large city or municipalities, things like that, if you don't have an absolute warm introduction there, guys, we've got a lot of referral partners that do. It's very, very difficult to get through the obstacles and the barriers that can often be in the way. There's so many firewalls and gatekeepers and processes that you need to go through on those big files. So hey, look at this. It looks like we might have a guest coming online as well. Guys, for those of you who don't know, Slava is one of the co-founders of EHP. He is my direct report, my boss, my mentor, and very happy to have him on this call. And I think we might be able to do a little bit deeper dive than normal with him on this call.
So Mike, I'm answering as quickly as I can. I'm going to start right now. If you click on the answered tab right next to open tab, you'll be able to see all the answers.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Most owners do not qualify, so it had to be 5 minimum. Okay. And then David, specifically, what does the insurance policy, the employers? Nothing. This is not insurance. Yeah. That might make sense as well. Slava, are you still tied up for a little bit, or
I'm still tied up for a little bit, but I'm going to just go through these and answer all the Q&A. So you'll be able to see the answers pop up in the answer tab as I answer.
Sounds great. Thank you so much. I'll do my best here to answer some of these low-hanging fruit, and you pick the hard ones. All right, that video is not available, guys. I made that for fun. It's not even been approved by the boss yet, but I just wanted to share that with you guys to give you an idea of the offering. Again, we want to focus on the 5 R's, guys: recruitment, retention, rewarding employees with additional benefits on top of the program benefits that are already being provided, rewarding your employees with a little bit of a bump in pay, not much, just a little bit, reducing operating costs with the redirection of care, and having an impact on your revenues. All those R's, those are the benefits that we want to focus on, guys. And when you're talking to a prospective business owner, operator, we want it to go as high up the ladder in the chain as we possibly can. We want to talk to the owners, the CEOs, the CFOs, because it really is a financial decision more. And those are the C-suites. We call them the C-suite. They're the ones who have the authority typically to say yes. Now, we do a lot of discovery calls with HR, and a lot of times it's relegated to HR first because we talk about benefits. It really is a great benefit value add, but what we find oftentimes, guys, is that the human resource department has the authority to say no, but not the authority to say yes. So we oftentimes will have to do another discovery call anyway if we get past the HR and onto people further up the chain as well. So if you're able to pre-qualify a prospect, get as high up the chain as you can with the decision makers, have them involved on the discovery call as well as HR so that we can have a roundtable discussion. And HR is going to pick up the vibe from the CEO, the CFO, and they're going to get in line and follow. So that's my recommendation for you guys. But focus on finding the pain points with your prospects. What are they struggling with? I played that little video of the news clips, guys, and the only reason why I played that is just every discovery call we're doing right now, every single business we're talking to is experiencing an increase in medical premiums this year. Every employer is having to have that hard discussion about how much of the increase in cost do they need to spread over to their employees? How much do they need to absorb? How much can they absorb? It's a trend straight across the board here, guys, with almost every single client we're talking to right now. I was on a discovery call last week, and the gentleman said that their premiums are going up 46%. 46%. I mean, how does a business operate? So when we can talk about a program that not only softens the blow for the employee if their take-home pay goes up a little bit, that can help offset any increase in insurance premiums as well. And then generating that $640 in tax savings for the employer, that can really have a substantial impact on the increasing costs that businesses continue to incur. So find their pain point. Hey, how is recruitment? How is retention? How is turnover? Is it costly to rehire and retrain new people all the time? If there was a way that you could increase your ability to recruit high quality talent and retain that talent, would you be opposed to learning a little bit about a program that has an impact on that? And just if I could introduce you to someone at EHP on a discovery call that could share with you how you might be able to save some money by adding additional benefits for your employees at no net out-of-pocket cost, would you be opposed to getting on a 30-minute discovery call to learn more about it and see if you qualify? Again, that's the conversation, you guys. If they start asking lots and lots of deep questions, this is part of the deep dive. But honestly, this information that we're going through right now, guys, is to get the information from your head to your heart so that you believe in what you are talking about and you know it. But honestly, if you can promote the discovery call and edify the discovery call, that's a great question, Joe. They're going to cover that on the discovery call. What works better, Tuesday or Thursday, mornings or afternoons? And if you can talk through that and promote curiosity and motivation, and edify the call. They will get on the call on time. They will pay attention, and we will be able to, in a proper fashion, answer all the questions and then ask them if they see the value in us putting together a formal proposal. And by doing so, we're going to ask for them to submit a payroll census, a company payroll census. That's the process there. Okay, so let's see here if I can scroll down. Where do we get that video? You can just log on and watch them here periodically, something like that. That was a kind of a special one-off there, guys, for you. But is there time to do anything before the end of the year? Now is the time to do everything before the end of the year. That's a great question, Bruce. Guys, there is a pipeline and a process with this. It is not an overnight sale, and it's not an overnight flip a switch and it's on. There is a process. Oftentimes we're held up by the employer and they're scrambling with the end of the year. So our job is to fill the pipeline and book as many discovery calls as we can now so that we start 2026 off running with full steam ahead. Highly encourage you guys to not take your foot off the gas. Continue to have conversations, continue to reach out. You are going to find more people stalling right now because this is the lazy period for a lot of businesses. They're year end and they're just trying to coast the last 100 yards to the finish line. And so you're going to want to keep your foot on the gas with them and keep pushing them and say, guys, now is the perfect time, end of the year, so you can start thinking about your 2026 and getting this thing started off with a bang, and we can get rolling. Oftentimes, it's timed great with your current open enrollment as well. we can just launch this right after your enrollment starts again, soften the blow, with the increase in premiums, et cetera. So, Bruce, keep going. All of you guys, keep going. Keep your foot down on the gas and keep booking those discovery calls, because this is traditionally a slower time, but we're continuing to book. So just keep going. Don't stop. In the back office, can the agent set up commissions splits on two different people? Guys, that's John, that's a question you're going to have to talk to your sponsor about and whoever referred you into the company. We don't deal with the back office and commission splits or anything like that on these types of calls. I don't even know how that side of things really, quite frankly, works for you guys. So reach out to your upline there, and if, at the worst case scenario, you can submit a support ticket in your back office. Where can I get to? Oh, I opened a can of worms here. Hi, Mike. Where can we access that? Are you only operating in the U.S.? Well, it's pretty tough to offer tax deductions for people that don't pay taxes in the U.S. That's a pretty big challenge. Now, Slava may be able to answer this if we are available in some of the territories like Puerto Rico or something like that. But
We are not, unfortunately.
okay, we are not. So you guys are going to want to focus on the U.S. This is a tax savings program with U.S. dollars and U.S. tax dollars. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, Karen. Thank you so much. Can employees make over $30,000 qualify if less than 30 hours? The 30-hour minimum is a requirement, guys. We need the employees to work a minimum of 30 hours a week, and it needs to be consistent pay. I did a discovery call this morning with a company that a home healthcare company where they have per diem, and they may work for 3 months at a time straight, and then their client passes away, and they might be off for a month or two, and that's just not an ideal fit. Seasonal work and inconsistent hours make it very, very challenging, guys. So when you're talking to your business prospects, have that conversation and ask some of those tough questions. Do you have full-time employees that work 30 hours or more a week that have consistent income? Now, a lot of, areas I know like with schools, a lot of times now, like teachers get paid year round. Again, schools are difficult. We do a lot of discovery calls with schools, but it's a long, drawn-out process that way as well. So just prepare if you're going to talk to anyone that way. There's a lot of eyeballs and a lot of heads that need to see the program and a lot of ears that need to hear it, and a lot of heads that need to nod to onboard. But it can be done. But a lot of times if a school doesn't pay the teachers year-round and they're only 9 months out of the year, that's a difficult challenge for us as well. So keep it at 30 hours, guys. You can do it. Keep it at 30 hours. And have those conversations with the prospect before you book the discovery call. You want to gather as much intel as you can, and so we can custom and tailor this opportunity, and you can focus on the highlights that that they're most interested in when we do this. Is the video? Oh, good. Many are concerned if this is compliant. I understand they will have a discovery call, which will tell them it's compliant, but how can they rest assured that they won't run into any legal issues since they don't know who is EHP? Is there like a tax attorney, etc.? Martin, we've got some great announcements coming here in the way of that as well. We can assure you that this program is compliant. There's several different questions a lot of business owners have with this program. Now, Slava is going to probably be able to do a little bit of a deeper dive about that. We are bringing some serious experts on board that may be able to participate in some of your discovery calls. We're very, very excited about that.
I guess I might as well just chime in here rather than you having to repeat me. So yeah, if they think the program is non-compliant, that's awesome. Please get them on a call with me. They're obviously tax attorneys because they know pretty deep, and we'll be able to show them the correct codes. Just today, I was on with a tax attorney for a company, small company, I think like 1,600 employees, but they were asking about the legitimacy of this program. And because we're always getting new information, our newest tax attorney, he showed me, they're called green books that the IRS submits to Congress for changes they want to make. And while this wasn't present in the 2022, 2021, 2020, or any previous green book, in the 2023 and 2024 green books, they asked specifically for this program to be taxable. So as you know, what we work on is the ability to pre-tax the 1220, and then post-tax reimbursed the same. So the IRS doesn't like that. They've always said they don't like that. They added to the 2023 and 2024 Green Book, not the way we do it, but specifically the way they don't like with an indemnity. They asked the Congress to please pass a new law that you can't do this anymore, and they declined. So 2 years in a row, the first time the IRS asked for this program to be changed, Congress declined to do it. 2025, we have a new IRS commissioner, so that's done. We just had one last one who wanted to make changes, and he was struck down. So the Democrats don't want to make changes based on this being introduced by Obama. The Republicans don't want to hear about anything that was introduced by Obama. So we're in this great spot where one side likes us and the other side would rather pretend that everything is fine. Because they don't want to, if they look at it and it looks good, then they would have to give the other administration credit, which they don't want to do. So, that plus a lot that is brought by our tax attorney. We just recently, as of Monday, now have a new ERISA attorney. They are available to be on your calls. The tax attorney specifically, his name is Skip. He is great. He has asked for his time that you add him to your downline with a $2 PEPM. But I'll tell you, the last one that he did with me was a much larger company, 6,500. It was actually Broward County, Florida. And they brought their tax attorneys. I did the presentation. I also told them that Skip is here to answer their legal questions, their tax questions. They said, no, what you gave us was enough. So most people, they look at the codes and it's on the IRS website. It says we can do it. There's no more questions. The only one that's left over is usually you're doing a pre-tax deduction for $1,220. You're doing a post-tax deduction or reimbursement for $1,220. That's a large sum of money. If our employees are paying, $300 or $400 for their health insurance, how can you charge $1,220? And
my name is Culver. I work
sorry?
for EHP. No, go ahead.
So, and the answer is your employees are paying for individual coverage of $300 or $400. It is family coverage that we're offering. And I could tell you where I pulled it out of, but I'd rather you wait just another week. We have the firm Lewis & Ellis, which is the largest actuary firm in America. So we've never been large enough or had the pull to get them to do a review of our program, but we are now. So in about a week, Lewis & Ellis will have the evaluation. They will show everything, including our plans, what the value is, and it's going to be above 1220. And they're going to have a 2-page summation. So if anybody ever asked that very last question that we haven't previously been able to, well, we've been able to answer it, but we haven't been able to back it up. In about a week, we'll be able to back up that very last thing. So let me just go through the things I answered just to clarify them a little bit. So questions, what would disqualify a company from the program? We get from time to time companies that we can't handle. So there are a few things that we need to do. Number one, and most important, is discrimination testing, which means we must be able to offer the exact same thing to high and low wage employees, no difference, which that's easy for us to do because we only have one program, but at least 50% must qualify, which if you bring us like a McDonald's where all the managers qualify, none of the employees do, we won't be able to do it. If you bring us a company that pays close to minimum wage, like home healthcare in some states, not every state, but some states, like fast food, or worse, a restaurant that pay their employees a minimum wage of $3.50 an hour, the server minimum wage, not the actual minimum wage, and then they make the rest of their money from tips. Well, Trump just said in the big beautiful bill that tips are no longer taxable for the first $25,000. So they won't have enough taxes that they're paying for us to give them enough of a discount to afford the program. So if they're not paying taxes, we can't save them money on taxes. So all these lower wage employees will not qualify. It's just wasting time. We have gotten very good at it. We will decline the client most of the time right there on that first call. So we'll never get to a census. So you don't have to, put in the time. So if it looks to us like it's either a low wage employee or it's a high turnover employee, we'll ask that. What's the average turnover of your employees? And if they say 3 months, sorry, by the time the benefits take effect, that person's out the door. So we're going to do a lot more declining during that first call. But you can use that as a way to kind of target away from those people. So that's what makes somebody not qualify. It's either less than 50% qualify or less than 50% want to take the plan. That less than 50, if it's more than 50%, but the number is less than 5, then that's also the disqualification. And if it's high turnover. How can we get the virtual background? That is all Mike. None of us have access to it except for Mike. So you have to be nice to him. If an employer has a SIMRP in place, does that always have to be replaced? Yes. So part of insurance is you cannot duplicate benefits. So if you have one SIMRP in place, you can't have a second one in place. How long does it take to initially get paid? So the answer is a long time. If you have a discovery call take place, let's say the 14th of the month, and we get the census back by the 16th, and we set their onboarding for the first of the following month, they will probably, they will be asked to pay us on the 25th, as long as they pay us by, let's say I think it's the 13th of the next month, we'll pay within 8 days. But let's say you bring that person to us on the 14th and they don't get the census back to us until the 23rd. Well, now there's not enough time to get them to onboarding the following month, so everything gets pushed back a month. Or if you bring us somebody on the 23rd, they get us the census on the 24th, it's still too close. We can't start onboarding within 7 days. So again, that pushes it forward a month. So the best answer I can give is 8 days after they pay us. But we don't ask them to pay us until a month after the policy starts. Question, what support can EHP give? If I were to round up a group of benefit brokers you're just talking about getting a downline. There's nothing special about brokers or accountants or lawyers. They are uneducated. Yep. Please do not recruit people if you are not 1000% familiar with this plan. That is why we ask you to go to your upline. Your upline should be so educated on this that they can answer your questions. If you are here to recruit people, please don't. You will do them a disservice. Once you've educated them, then make sure that they start coming to these trainings. A lot of these, they start with the presentation, and as long as they basically can understand the program to a good extent and can at least deliver the elevator pitch, which is, this is a program that will benefit your employees by giving them extra resources to get them healthier, and it'll do it for them at no out-of-pocket cost and no out-of-pocket cost to you, the employer, and in fact save you some money. If they can do at least that, then make sure they start showing up. And we ask all of you, regardless of how familiar you are, to show up on the discovery calls. They will learn from us as we do the presentations. I'm working with a business that told me to contact their benefit account manager, broker. How do I approach? You can't. We can't deal with brokers. We can't talk to somebody about somebody else. That would be a violation, and it's just weird to talk to some broker about our client or somebody who wants to be our client. I was told the employer gets a policy to indemnify them. Absolutely. So they get a policy to indemnify them for any legal services, and they get a policy to indemnify them for any clawbacks if they are over 20,000 employees. So we will pay for that. Otherwise, we don't, but it's also never happened in the history of this program. So no clawbacks have ever been requested, and this program has never been audited. The closest we've come is the IRS talking about making indemnity payments above and beyond the cost of the program, which we don't do, but it's close. It's still using SIMRP reduction, so it's kind of in the ballpark, but it was submitted in 2023, 2024. You can ask ChatGPT, which is how I found it, to pull up the Green Book. That's what it's called, that Congress submits. It's on page 2012. Let me see if I have it on my screen. I do. Hold on.
Bit of a view of this from
I think I still had it on my screen. But yeah, here is the Green Book. Here is page 2012, and it asks for changes. So this is the IRS saying, please, we'd like to make changes to the 105. And it says here, so what they really want changed is employees with fixed payments upon the occurrence of a specific medical event, instead of or in addition to traditional medical expense-based coverage. And right now, right here, they're talking about how we're doing this with the 105B plan, which we are, except we're not doing it for indemnity. We're not giving anybody anything extra to what they owe because our cost is zero. So we're not doing what they're talking about it, but it's in the ballpark. But even though this sounds really bad to me, Congress still refused to do it. So you can look at 2023, this is present. Look at 2024, this is present. 2025, new insurance commissioner, he didn't agree with the last one. They've stopped submitting this. So there it is. And it's called the Green Book. Where was I? What is the process for AFLAC agents? We've got some AFLAC agents. I have asked Holly and Todd. So Holly Remus, I believe her email is, actually I'll tell you right now, it is hremus, R-E-M-U-S, at getehp.com. She handles everything to do with AFLAC. So just email hremus at getehp. She will help you. I have asked her not to enroll, what do you call it? The entire agency of AFLAC, like we did with Manhattan Life or Allstate, until they get that damn letter off their website. So they've got a letter very similar to this thing that the IRS sent into Congress. And even though Congress rejected it, they still have it. So remove that damn letter and we'll talk to your agency. Until then, individual agents are signing up, but contact hremus, R-E-M-U-S, at getehp.com, and she'll help you because she manages all the insurance agencies. Did the company need an actual insurance agent to help? No, this is not insurance. Wellness is not insurance. You do not need an insurance license. We recommend it. It's like $60 to at least study for it. So the course, what's the course? It's, I'll tell you right now. Can't find it. Okay, I'll have it on the next one. I remember I mentioned it on the last training, but I forgot what it was. So you take the insurance course, you get a license. It teaches you some of the insurance regulations, insurance terms, but you don't need it to sell EHP. If an employer has a virtual health program, how can I combat this? Is it with the SIMRP? So first of all, it's never with the SIMRP. Second of all, it is always, always present. You will not find an employer with a health insurance plan that does not have a virtual health program. They know, and by they I mean the insurance company, just how much money this saves them. But it's never very comprehensive. It's usually like a teledoc, which teledoc is you're talking to a random nurse practitioner. It might have some info there on how to lose weight, but it will not give you your own personal fitness instructor or nutritionist. So this is a lot more. We deal with this all the time. These are enhanced benefits and companies like them. Is the 640 after the cost of the program or gross? So gross is $93.33 per employee, which we get to by taking 1220 and multiplying it by Social Security and Medicare. which is 7.65%. So if you multiply 1220 by 7.65, it comes to 93.33. Multiply that by 12, comes to $1,119.96. We charge $40, which if you multiply the remainder 53.33, which is their net savings, it's $640 per month. So that's the quick fire of what I got up to so far. And now I'm just going to go through these. I am, however, going to skip anything that asks about some video that Mike must have shown that must have been like the most awesome thing ever, which I would love to see someday. And I'm going to skip all the Happy Thanksgiving, because Happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
That's awesome.
If I send them to DC with census in hand, it happens sometimes. So a lot of the insurance agents from, for example, Manhattan Life, they have gotten to know this program so well, because not only are we doing training on it, so is Manhattan Life. They've gotten to get the census first. They'll send it in first. And then we don't do a discovery call ever. We do the proposal, which always starts with, have you seen the discovery call? No, let us tell you about the program, and then we'll proceed. And instead of showing them the sample proposal, we'll show them their proposal and ask if they'd like to proceed. So does it shorten the process? Sure, but it's way harder to do for you. Ask somebody for their census without telling them the entire presentation first. I love the way Mike goes through a sales pitch. Me too. Where do we find the calendar to book discovery presentation calls? So that is changing a little bit. It's still the same place. So it's still, you go to your back office, you enter the client, and then you will have an option to schedule a discovery call. The thing that's changing is we are hiring a lot more people. Not quite like Mike, because nobody's like Mike, but at least doing discovery calls. And we're going to make sure that they are specialized in group sizes. So we'll have a under 50 group, a 50 to 1,500 person group, and anybody over 1,500 is always going to be me. But I'm sure we'll, enough people will get so good that they can replace me as well. That is my goal. My goal is to fire myself. What are the top 3 reasons businesses cite after the discovery call to not move forward, and how do you recommend that we overcome that? So first of all, a business will not cite it. A CEO or CFO will not cite it. It'll be HR. It'll be HR, and regardless of what reason they give, the actual reason is, this looks like work for me and I don't want to do it. Nobody ever says, I don't like the extra money for my company, and I don't think my employees deserve extra benefits. It just doesn't happen. At least I've never had it happen. I'm sure we had, or at least I know we've had people that gave presentations that weren't as good. Those people are no longer employed here. Actually, I shouldn't say that. They are now on the, what do you call it? The enrollment team. But they're no longer on the discovery call team, because we need to deliver strong presentations. I mean, really, you could have questions like, is this compliant? And that's fine. We are supposed to be able to answer those questions. You might want proof, and that's fine. You might want to know why we're allowed to do this, and we're about to get, like I said, that valuation probably within a week. So we should be able to answer those questions. The top reasons that it'll be turned down is you brought the wrong person. You brought HR. Did anyone see my question? No, Martin, I don't think I did. If I haven't answered it yet, so please ask it again. Can you go over what is covered on the MEC if they currently don't have health insurance? Yes. So MEC stands for minimal essential coverage, which is one of the reasons why you get a health insurance license, because they have chapters and chapters on what a MEC is. According to the Affordable Care Act, minimal essential coverage must cover the yearly physical and any of the labs that go with it. It must also cover, are you trying to find the MEC benefits?
Yeah, I've got it right here.
I don't think that lists it. You'd have to go to ACA.com.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't list it. So it must also cover all the preventive items. So our goal here with everything we do is to prevent the big things. And MEC is a big part of that. You either have it with your major medical policy, or if you don't, we're going to make sure that you have it. It'll cover everything that you should be doing depending on your age. So there's 26 items for children. There's 24 items for women, things like mammograms. Over a certain age, you should be doing these. Breast cancer is no joke, but it could be if you find it real early, because it's very easy. Our technology has grown to the point where if you find it early, it is very easy to treat. Rarely does somebody die from finding it at the earliest stages as soon as it shows up. So we want to make sure that you do all the preventive things. And then there's, I think, like 14 things for men, because, who cares about the men? Fun things like colonoscopies. But that's the basis of a MEC. MEC stands for minimal essential coverage, and that's what it is. Now, when we offer MEC, we want to offer some additional benefits. So we'll give you the ability to go to a physical doctor for a small copay. I forget what it is, like $15. We'll give you the ability to go to urgent care, because if we can diagnose something on the phone, great. But what if it's something that looks like it needs a biopsy, or you've sprained your wrist and you need a cast, or something that requires a physical visit? Well, we want to make sure that you have coverage for that. So we'll pay for the the urgent care visit. We will also pay for specialists, because a doctor visit is easy. A specialist is, I don't know what that is on your arm, but we should biopsy it. So let's send you to a specialist. We will also cover labs, because you shouldn't be afraid of getting the labs that you need. We'll cover them for free, and we will cover x-rays. So that's what our MEC does. It is not major medical. Your head falls off, it will not pay for the surgery to sew it back on. So no surgeries, which is why major medical is important. But if you can't afford it, I'd love to help you, but I'm not going to pay for your major medical. So we're going to give you something that your savings can cover, which is the MEC. So at least you have access to doctors, to specialists, to a lot more than if you didn't have insurance. Will insurance agents who provide group health to companies find becoming an affiliate with us a conflict of interest? That's the main reason why insurance agents become affiliated with us, because they can bring in more than just the major medical, and they can use that savings and taxes to kind of help offset the cost of major medical, because it's expensive. No, it's not this, Mike. They're talking major medical. So if your major medical is costing $300 and you can save the business, 50, well, now it's only costing $250 for the business. It's costing the employee $300, but you can save them $160. Well, now it's only cost them $140, which comes out to what? Less than $60 per pay period. Well, now it's easy, right? So that's the main reason why insurance agents are partnered with us. It certainly is for Manhattan Life, for Allstate, while the Aflac agents are coming to us. Yeah, definitely not a conflict of interest.
Right. The reason it must be W-2.
An employer wants to pay the difference for employees that. Yes, it's a special request. Our system doesn't do this by default, but if you ask us, hey, these 4 employees didn't meet the minimum, the employer wants to cover it, just send us an email, say, hey, how much did they miss by? And we'll redo the calculation.
Hey.
It's not something our system currently does. We are changing it to where it does, but for now it's a manual process. Only takes like 5-10 minutes. So feel free to make the request. Can you come to a lot of employees?
Sorry to interrupt. Can that be discussed on a proposal call as well? So if a number comes up like negative, by default, we wouldn't qualify. Yeah.
Yeah, you just have to ask me, because we don't have a system for it of doing it, but I can do it within 5 minutes.
Perfect.
Can a company with a lot of employees that is a mix of full-time, annually, and seasonal, and pay a minimum of $20 per hour qualify? Would the full-time folks qualify if it's a lot of? It depends. So we've done school bus drivers. That's the best example I can give you, where they only get paid 9 months of the year, and we disenroll them and we re-enroll them. We've done school teachers who may not work, but they still get paid all 12 months. So those we can do. Any less than 9 months, we can't do. It's just too much paperwork to enroll and re-enroll a company every single year. Yeah, the seasonal is usually like 6 months. We can't help the seasonal, but it's a different class, so it doesn't prevent us from helping the full time. How quickly does the agent get paid? Okay, so I think I just answered that. It's 8 days after the company pays us, which is 30 or more days, depending on how quickly they want to pay, after they get their bill for the policy that started the first of the month. So to the pub for attorney, what does it provide? So if you like the attorney, and he just started with us, he just did the first one, and after my presentation, there were 0 questions. So that person just lost $2 PEPM unless they have questions later. So what it provides is the attorney will come on the first call, and he will be available for every call after that, and available to their attorneys if they would like to ask legal questions. Because I have a hat, it says lawyer. I am not a lawyer. Attorneys don't really like to talk to me, but let them talk to a real tax attorney. How can we get a proposal once you receive a census? How quickly? Usually 1 or 2 days, say 2 or 3 if we want to be really conservative, unless they screw up. So if we show them a census, but instead of giving us a census, they give us just a bunch of payroll records. My instruction to the census team, to the CPAs, is if you get a bunch of payroll records, put it in a folder, put it to the side, and forget about it. And don't even look at it until we do everything else for correctly submitted censuses. Because a correctly submitted census we can do in half hour to an hour. So if we can do 8 of something, or typically closer to 30 of something, as opposed to playing with your payroll report, we're going to do the 30 first, and then we'll get to yours. So it'll be about 2-3 weeks. If they've submitted something and it is just so off, where, like, I just got one where people's incomes were between 60 and 90,000, and also between like 1,500 and 3,500. So I have no idea what that was. So I had to go back to them and say, hey, these look weird. Are some of these like weekly maybe? And they were. They just didn't tell me which was which. So if we have to go back, it'll take a little bit of time. If it's payroll reports, it'll take a lot of time. And if it's good, just that census that you see, if they filled out the column, which are pretty easy to fill out, it's, hey, what's your name? How much do you make? What are your deductions? That's it. It's not that hard. And we will not ever take, ever, year to date. Sometimes employers will send us a report that says, here's how much my employees made to date, not yearly, not per paycheck, but to date. We will never accept that because we don't know what happened throughout the year. We don't know when that person started. We don't know if they took some time off, and these aren't full paychecks. We just don't know. So we can't do year to date. Otherwise, 2 to 3 days at most. How do they pay you? We prefer American dollars. We will take euro. It is through an ACH. They will get a statement at the end of the month. They look through it. If they agree, they click the agree and process button at the TPA, and it gets processed. Now, they could move to auto pay, where they just pay whatever the statement is every month. Some really like it, some don't. It's up to them. I'm working with a company that has 600 employees by setting the discovery call for them. How do I at Skip? That's going to be a technical ad, so there's no button for Skip yet, but just email me. My email is slava@getehp.com, and I will send you Skip's contract, and I will get together with Skip to make sure that he can make it too. It will be technically added with a button in the near future. If full-time W-2 employees are paid on commission-only basis, are they still eligible? So we haven't done any mortgage loan officers, but we have done many car dealerships. Car dealerships get paid exactly this way. The car dealership, whenever I get it, it's usually convoluted and weird because they will submit to me their gross pay and then separately their commission. And sometimes it's together lumped in one. So because it's variable, what we ask the business to do is let us know what you think their minimum average commission is throughout the year, and then to take responsibility that if it's lower next year and the employee loses money, well, it's not our fault. We told you that you're taking a risk. So yes, we can do it. We're going to rely on the business to give us that number of what they believe it'll be, but we're also going to ask them to take responsibility for that number. As far as administrative costs, what about the corp office employees of fast food franchises? So yeah, we can't submit groups as separate departments, and then we don't run into that, which we do a lot. It's just sometimes groups will make a mistake and they'll submit everybody at the same time. And now we've seen it, we can't get around it. Sorry, we can't help you. So yeah, if you come up and you see a food vendor and you know their employees won't qualify, submit only the management. If you submit both, we have to submit the entire company to discrimination. Is it possible to bring in a broker as a downline? Yeah, of course, of course. Just make sure you're educated before you agree to be an upline. On the discovery call, can we talk about coverage for part-time employees that can work 30 hours per week, but still only guaranteed 24 hours per week? They have 219,000 employees. Please don't give us companies with over 100,000 employees. This is going to take years and years, and they really should be doing this themselves. To answer your question, no, they have to be filed as full-time. So if the company is willing to file them as full-time and take on the responsibility of giving them health insurance and take on the responsibility of, if they don't provide health insurance, they pay that huge $4,000+ penalty, then they're considered full-time, and we will consider them full-time. So we're going to take the company's word for it. But if they're not considering them full-time and giving them all the full-time benefits, including major medical options, then we won't consider them full-time either. So it's going to be up to the company. We just got an email saying that there will be a call at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Since that's Thanksgiving, I presume, yep, that's an automated notice. Apologies for that. And that's why, by the way, I'm taking a little bit of time because I have nothing after this except just legal paperwork that I'm doing. As long as I finish by 9 p.m., I'm good. So I'm taking just a little bit of time to answer all the questions today. And Mike, feel free to leave me here. I will.
Okay.
I know you've got 2 more presentations.
I do. Have a happy Thanksgiving, everyone, and keep booking those discovery calls. Thank you, Slava.
Yeah, if you leave here and you don't make me the host first, it'll kick everybody out.
I will make you the host.
Thank you. Okay. I do not believe the IRS will prevail. Are they going to go after employees from the payment? So they have to go after the plan, not the employees. And they've tried. So not the way we're doing it, but, oh, we should put a video on. Hello, everybody. Okay, so they have twice submitted, as I mentioned before, to Congress for a change in the plan because according to the Chevron deference ruling, the last time they tried to change something, it went all the way up to the, what is wrong with my camera? It went all the way up to the Supreme Court and they were overturned. The IRS is not allowed to make changes, but they are doing it correctly. They submitted the green books to Congress and Congress said, no, we like it this way. So if Congress says they like it this way, then I guess we'll wait until 2028 until a new IRS commissioner is appointed and he could try his luck. Do we get EHP.com email address like Rick and get EHP? Depends. I know, well, I can't do it. I don't have access to that. I know some partners have had it or have it, but they've submitted over 10,000 lives to us. So I don't know what the minimum is. That is definitely a Marty question. How does the client pay you? So I think we already answered that. Yes, that's it. Excel solutions. So I'm going to put it up on the screen. So if you do want an insurance license, where am I? Here it is. Share screen. This is the website I recommend. Their courses are very good. The partner code is IND. It stands for Insurance Next Door. It is an insurance company I had a long, long time ago. We have a deal with Excel testing for our agents to get $130 off of the $190 course. And I've since closed that insurance agency, but as you can see here, if it works, yes. Let me select the state. I'll select Florida because that's where I am. Education. You want to get a license, so you don't need continuing education, which you'll have to do every year or every 2 years once you get a license. Line of authority is always life and health. You could get just life. You could get just health. You're going to need life and health. It's the same price, and the test only has one extra section. So you might as well get both at the same time. And when you go to find courses, you want this one. This is way too complex and doesn't help you and just confuses you. It's the simple course. And the way that I did it for myself and never did it for anybody else when we had COVID and you can do it online. But the way that I did it is I went through the course without really paying attention because I'm not very good at paying attention. I took the exam at the end. I failed with a 32%. I took it again. I failed with a 46%, and I kept taking it until I passed with high 80s. Then I went to take the course where you only need a 70% to pass. So that's the way I did it. Might not work for you, might work for you. They also have a copay with Teladoc. Yeah, that's weird. Teladoc shouldn't need a copay. I know they have options where they charge a copay. Somebody's ripping somebody off. But yeah, I have seen Teladoc with a copay. Obviously, ours is always free, no copay, so it's a good replacement. Just wants to be clear, there is no insurance to indemnify the employer against IRS clawing back, plus the penalties, interest, unless they're correct. Although we've made exceptions. So we just got one for, or are getting one for, a company with 17,000 employees. So if you get 10,000, give it a shot, we could probably get it. But no, these are way too expensive for us to buy for smaller companies. And especially because it's never happened. One potential customer has and let me just go back to the never happened thing. The reason why it's so expensive is because it's never happened. If it's been happening like 1% of the time, 2% of the time, our reinsurers, of which there are 3, would know what to charge for this policy. But because it's never happened, they don't know what price to put on it, so they overcharge us. One potential customer has a very large company and barely have a few minutes, and they really don't have much time for long discovery calls. They will just want an answer to their questions. Can this still work? At potential customers and get them? No, just don't even bother. If it's a very large client, they're likely going to save, well, they are going to save over $500,000 per 1,000 employees. So if they have 10,000 employees, I don't know what you consider a very large company, that's $5 million. If they only have a few minutes, they're not interested. You're wasting your time. Would the ERISA attorney have his own calendar? No, the ERISA attorney will not. The tax attorney will. The ERISA attorney is making sure our docs are all compliant. There's really nothing he can add to these calls. You want the tax attorney, you can go over IRS code. 240, the 240 health insurance agent is a license to sell health only. 215 covers life and health. That is correct. Health and variable contract insurance agents, the 214 carries, you don't need the 214. It's 215 you're looking for. Will insurance agents who provide group health campaigns, whatever that says, find become an affiliate with us a conflict of interest? So I've already answered that. You should use us to enhance your benefit. So the main reason why we don't offer major medical is so we don't compete with our agents. We want you to be able to go in there, offer them wellness, and use some of the savings to make your policies less expensive. I'm asking the below question in case anybody, in case it was missed. We have an employer ready to engage, but before they do, they want to include all employees, including those not eligible, and pay the difference. Yeah, so like I said, just submit it, and if there's anybody not eligible, ask me to redo it, or when you submit it, just contact us before or put a note in there saying, please give us the missing amounts, and it'll be small. It'll be like probably, I don't know, 30, 40 bucks at most. And we'll give it to you for anybody who might not have qualified. Does MEC get covered in the discovery call, or is that a separate call with the employer? MEC gets covered in the discovery call if it's asked. Most employers already offer major medical, and most of their employees participate or have it through their spouse. And that's why we always recommend that please show up, add yourself as a guest when you're scheduling these discovery calls, or it should actually add you automatically as a guest. And then when you're there, say, hey, please make sure you go over the MEC option. Can they add MEC if they have insurance through Medicaid or Marketplace? If you have Medicaid, you do not qualify for this program. So double dipping is a thing. Medicaid is a government assistance program. You can't do both. Marketplace is fine if you have Marketplace with the subsidies, not fine. Because again, you're getting assistance from the government. You can't do both. So technically, yes, but in actuary, no, because they won't qualify for the program. So the question is, is the plan available to be enrolled all year long or specific months? So we work by ACA regulations. You can choose any month as your enrollment month, but then that becomes your enrollment month, and you can't make changes until the following year, unless you have a qualifying life event, having a baby, death in the family, moving to another state, getting into jail, getting out of jail, all qualifying life events. Otherwise, the enrollment month is whatever month you initially choose. It could be June, could be August. When's tax attorney available to start? He's already had calls with us, so he's available now. Is there a max on the wage, how much employees make per month or year? Yes. So we just did, without revealing the name of the institution, it's an Ivy League in California. Take your guess, but their teachers make $300,000. Because they're in such a high tax bracket, they're still going to qualify because we're going to save them money off their federal 22% that they're paying. But they no longer receive a Social Security savings because after $176,000, you don't pay into Social Security anymore. So while the teachers will qualify, the institution will not get the savings from FICA. They'll only get $212 off of Medicare savings. So it's technically not a max that keeps them from qualifying, but it's a max that keeps the employer from getting as large of a savings on Social Security, and the employee will get, because they have such a high tax bill from federal, they will get a savings, but not as much as somebody making like $150,000. So as weird as it sounds, somebody making 300 gets a smaller savings than somebody making 150. Did you say auto pay or auto pen? I may have said auto pen. If I did, I meant auto pay. They could do auto pay, whatever they feel is easiest for them. Do we get paid by direct deposit? If not, how do we get paid? I suppose there might be other options. Right now, every single person here gets paid by direct deposit. We would be okay if we do our own discovery call. What would you want required to do so? You're perfectly fine. A lot of the insurance agents, because they've seen so much of this and they belong to insurance agencies where they practice EHP pitches, they've started doing it their own. I'm just saying, unless you've seen like 10 of these, I think our guys are better. If you want to have the best chances, let our guys do it. But if you'd like to do it, please take my work. I do not mind at all. Can an employer who has several outlets test the program with 1 or 2 locations? So we've got that happening a lot. We have we have it happening with employer groups. The one that's going on right now is there's a large school system, without naming the state. We're taking over every single school in that state, 37,000 teachers and supporting personnel total. We're doing one at a time. So we're going to start with 1 school, then we're going to do 2 or 3 schools, then we'll do 10, and then we'll do the rest. So yeah, it's very common. For elephants, there is only one way to eat them, one bite at a time. Did you answer? I had a phone call. How quickly does the agent get paid? So yes, I did answer. It is 8 days after we get paid, and that bill does not go out until a month after the employees start their benefits. So first we do the discovery call, then we get the census, then we schedule the enrollment month, which is the education, then the policy starts, and at the end of that month we bill the employer. So the first check takes probably at best 45 days, at worst it could be as much as 75 days, and then it's every month after that. Thank you for the coaching. You're welcome. Can you repeat the gal's email who handles agencies? Yes, H. Remus. H as in Henry or Holly in this case. Remus. Romeo, Echo, M. Mother. Uncle Romeo. Remus. No, Remus. Uncle Sierra. Remus. What is the advantage of having a license?
Mommy, look, I found
You could sell help,
He's right here.
insurance.
Sweetie, that's not a puppy. What is
You know,
that?
if you get contracted with an insurance agency, and we've helped a client save money, and this is the reason why we don't talk to brokers, and brokers don't like us, because unless they're our partners, at some point, the partner will come back to us and say, hey, you've helped us with this. Do you have any other products? And of course we do. But if it says on there that our partner is a broker, then our answer will be, of course we do. Please contact this broker. So it gives you the opportunity for additional sales. One internal system processes are being upgraded or automated in the next 90 days. There's a lot. The biggest one, which my next meeting with them is next week, is we're automating census polls. So if you are on the list of of payment companies that we have already implemented, we will pull that census automatically, and we will be able to do it every single month, so you never have to report to us new employees. I have a PEO and they have 2,000 plus count for employees. Could they take referral fee? How do I negotiate that? We've done quite a few PEOs. The latest one we did was pretty small. It was 5,000 employees. And we told them that the savings does not belong to the employer. You are the ones that pay FICA. They're your employees. That's what a PEO is. A business will give up their employees, make them employees of a PEO so that the PEO can get them benefits that the business cannot on their own. So the PEO can choose to share some, all, or none of it. Now this PEO and most PEOs have shared all of it because they want to use it as a way to attract more business. So they tell employers that say, hey, not only can you get all these additional benefits by coming to us, but our fees, whatever they might be, will be covered by your savings. Or they can say that, our fee will be covered by your savings, but they won't give them the entire amount. It's up to them. We can't, it's their money. We can't tell them how to spend it. That would be against the rules of SIMR. What industries are responding best to our campaigns right now? When we first started, it was hospitals and doctors and dentists. A few months ago, it started becoming schools. So we have a lot of schools that we've enrolled and added to our pipeline. Right now, for some unknown reason, it's municipalities, which doesn't answer your question. Best is probably doctor's offices. So dentists, not proctologists, sorry. I'm thinking back to MEC benefits. Dentists, what do you call when your bones aren't quite right and they fix them? Those guys. We also have quite a few urgent cares. They do really well. We've recently gotten, so this is not as many because these groups are much larger. Construction companies, so they do really well because they pay their employees really well. I mean, just think of, hey, here's a business. Do they have more than 10 employees? Are they likely to grow or go out of business? Do they pay their employees decent? So those are just a couple of examples. I can look to see what's being submitted. I guess I can't tell you the name, but let me Just take a look at this real quick. Okay, have no idea what these guys do. This looks like it says X Farms, so I'm guessing it's a grocery store, something holdings, probably an investment firm, something solutions, no idea, probably electricians or, kitchen counter or something. Another one looks like electricians, a college, a plumbing service, a design group, another school. I'm guessing these guys do mortgages just by their name. A racquetball club, no idea what these guys do. A resort, or actually it says it's a management group, but 4 resorts. A consulting group, home healthcare agency, couriers, carpenters, blinds, trucking, therapy place. Oh yeah, it just gives you an idea of what was submitted in the last 4 days. All right, back to, we're almost done with the questions. I don't even know if there's anybody here. There are. What are you guys doing here? Go home. Where do you find continuing education that qualifies? So that same place, I do my continuing education there, and some years I get lazy and I just type in continuing education. There's a bunch of them. What I recommend when you do continuing education is type into Google or ChatGPT, wherever, continuing education where the answers are easily available, because it's bullshit. I do it the same exact way that I did my initial test, is I'll take the test until I pass, because I don't have time. You're supposed to do 24 hours. I spend about 2 every 2 years. Although the more time you spend in insurance, you'll have to do less. I think I'm down to like 15 or 10 hours that I have to do every year, but it'll be 24 hours initially and then less and less every year. What was the name of that again? With the code. So it's Excel Testing Solutions, and the code is IND, stands for Insurance Next Door, or it used to before I closed the company. What's the benefit to license? Like I said, license benefit is that you can, after the client is signed up, you might be able to offer them additional benefits. The way we work is we do not want to compete with our partners. So if you're an insurance agent, we will mark that and we will never offer them any benefits. We'll refer them back to you if they ask, or you can offer it to them before they ask us. What's the code? Code is IND, Insurance Next Door. But just those 3 letters. Don't type out insurance. What type of referral partners does EHP agency agent wants to seek? We don't. We want you to use your contacts to offer EHP. But I see what you're asking. So yeah, CPAs work amazingly well. B2B groups are okay. Legal firms are okay. Investment firms have worked really well for us. But the real answer is get one client, just one. Ask if there's anybody else that works with them that you could help. You will start getting referrals much, much easier that way, and they will enroll much, much faster. Working through other groups that do the work is the hard way. Do we get paid direct deposit? Yes, you do. And you will fill out a W-2 form. If needed, what company does RMX? It is the ARK Group, A-R-K. Yeah, everything we do here is transparent, so you don't have to worry about asking questions that I won't answer. Does the 240 savings number still apply in Texas with no state tax? Yes, it does. State tax has nothing to do with Social Security. The savings is off of Social Security and Medicare, also known as FICA. Is there a client list anywhere? Yeah, that we will not share because that's a privacy violation. I'm sure you see once in a while somebody broke in and they got all their client records. Yeah, we don't do that. We will, however, start a new program where as we enroll businesses, after their enrollment, we're going to ask them, hey, would you mind doing a quick Loom video just to let other people know how you think this will benefit you and how the enrollment went, all that stuff. So we're going to start having real people on there without revealing who they are. So there'll be a guy on there say, hey, I work for a construction company. We have 340 employees, and here's how it went. Slava came down to Denver. He took us all out to, I don't know, strip club, and we loved it, and we all signed up. I did not take them to such a place. We have a board level lead to Christian college with 400 plus E's. They get their benefits through Florida entity that helps Christian schools get better rates. So the best way is, first of all, ask them about their FICA. Do they pay into Social Security or into a retirement plan instead? If it's a retirement plan, we cannot help them. If they pay into Social Security, we can try. So in my experience, my sister being the graduate director for the State University of New York, teachers at public universities do not get paid nearly enough. If that's the case with the Christian college, because they feel that they can pay them less and they're paying them, much lower than the median wage in America, which by the way is $64,000, might not be worth their time because we can't save the money on state. But if they're paying them, decent, like 45,000 plus, which is still below median wage, yeah, let's take a look at it, see what it comes out to. Can new employees enroll throughout the year? So yes, that's a qualifying life event. Starting a new job allows them to enroll in the middle of the year. Is there a minimum group size opportunity include skip? Yep, it is 500 people, and the employer must be the CEO or CFO. It is a waste of time for us to bring him to talk to HR or anybody like that. And he won't do it, so there's that. I didn't understand the answer if the employee has Medicaid. Okay, so this initially was developed by, I'd like to give Obama credit because he deserves credit for something, but it was his wife. She pushed him to do it. It was initially developed as part of the rollout with the ACA to help reduce our healthcare spend. It is a government benefit that they can reduce their taxes. You cannot get the benefit twice. It is double dipping. So if you're already getting benefits from Medicaid, you can't also get this. If you're already going to the ACA, and I don't know what's happening with these new Republicans refusing to give subsidies, the Democrats saying America will crash and burn without them. No idea what's going to happen at the end. But if you're using subsidies because somehow you've gotten them, you also can't qualify for this. So if you get your policy from the ACA, that's fine. But if you're getting a subsidy, you cannot participate. Have any healthcare systems or hospitals onboarded yet? Yes. Credibility and understanding health insurance are two reasons to have a health insurance license. Agreed. Although I'm not sure about the credibility because initially, I think